In our society, media plays a big role on our day-to-day lives. With technology being used in many aspects of our lives, such as school, entertainment, and social interactions, it has almost become impossible to not be wrapped up in what the media has to propose. With media playing such a big role in our lives, it has opened many different doors to see and compare lifestyles to others. Oftentimes, we compare ourselves to people who have more. More money, more time, more exotic trips or expensive purchases, more beauty, just more. So, how can we reach this more that we often see online? Money. Which brings us to the big question: can money buy happiness?
All throughout this video, we will be exploring both sides of the argument on whether or not money can buy happiness. By interviewing people from different financial statuses, we will be able to see the different impacts that money played in their life, as well as their perspective on how it has affected them emotionally.
The first person we interviewed was Christina Gutierrez, who provided us with the perspective of someone who makes minimum wage income.
Hi, I'm Christina Gutierrez, and I'm a senior here at King High School.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Where are you currently employed at?
Unique metal fabrication.
Would you say that you're a regular source of income in your household?
Yeah, I pay bills.
Would you say that you live comfortably with the income that you make?
No.
Do you believe that if you made more money, you'd be happier?
Hell yeah.
With that being said, do you believe money can buy happiness?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you explain?
I don't know, it's just one of those things where, I mean, you can say, oh, love is gonna like beat everything. Like, you could be with someone and have a bunch of money. Like, you could have a bunch of money and not be happy, but I think that's false. Because, I mean, yeah, you could be with someone you love, but you guys could be homeless or you guys could be super poor. And there's gonna be a lot of problems in your relationship because you're gonna be wondering, well, how are we gonna pay the bills? How are we gonna pay the mortgage? How are we gonna feed our kids? And it's a huge problem. I mean, if you don't have money, even if you're with someone you love, you're not gonna live a comfortable life, or even like maybe even a happy life. And I feel like once you're financially stable enough to be able to be like, we don't have to worry about like finances. Like once you settle down and you have the amount of money that you want, and with that person, you're gonna be fine. And I feel like people don't realize that because love isn't gonna pay the bills.
After interviewing Christina, it allowed us to see the perspective of someone who makes just enough money to get by. Christina agreed with the idea that money can buy happiness due to the fact that she is someone who experiences the hardships of not having enough money to live comfortably.
To get a different view, we interviewed someone who is financially stable and has a little extra money to act like a cushion.
Hi, my name is Bill Bettencourt, and I am a CHP officer out of the Riverside office.
Do you think money can buy happiness?
No.
Explain.
Money helps in a lot of different ways, however, it does not buy happiness. Some of the loneliest people in the world are the richest people in the world. And the reason for that is because the only reason that people are friends with them is because people want something from them.
So, are you happy with your lifestyle?
Yes, very happy. It's
Why?
nice to be able to pay my bills, don't get me wrong. I mean, money is essential, but it does not buy you happiness.
Do you think that money actually like helps them become more happy because they have all these things around them? Or do you think
I think
that
it's momentary. In other words, they can buy things to fill voids in their lives, to satisfy certain needs, new cars, etc., houses, etc. Like anything, at some point, it's just a car, it's just a house, but it doesn't bring happiness.
Bill Bettencourt is a prime example of someone who is financially stable and very content with the lifestyle he lives. He views money as an essential part in one's life, but never the true source of anyone's happiness. His financial stability allows him to find happiness in things unrelated to money. He acknowledges that the happiness money brings is momentary and will only satisfy certain needs for a small amount of time. The next person we interview is someone who has personally seen the impacts money can have in someone's life and their basic needs.
Hi, I'm Sandra Bettencourt. I'm a nurse at Northwest College.
Do you think money buys you happiness?
Yes and no. Everyone's happiness is defined in different ways. If it's just a simple meal that they need, then of course money buys happiness because who doesn't want to eat? If they're thirsty, of course, it buys happiness because of all the needs that you have on a daily basis. However, if you're dying from any disease, money can't buy health and Money can only buy certain worldly possessions, and worldly possessions are momentary. So if you define happiness, everyone's happiness is built on different levels. If it's your basic needs, then yes, it does buy happiness. But if it's because you want to shop and you want a boat and you want a house and you want a car and you want all these different things, those are just momentary. So no, it won't buy you happiness.
Sandra Bedinger is a nurse who's seen it all and knows to what extent money can help. She understands that money brings only a certain level of happiness in one's life when the basic necessities have been met. She acknowledges that there is only so much money can truly do. It provides the basics, but it cannot go above and beyond to fix everyone's life's problems. She knows that money can help up to certain levels, and that depends on what everyone's views on happiness is.
The last person we interviewed is currently getting a doctorate in pharmacy. She's also worked many years as a pharmacy tech, as well as being moments away from becoming a pharmacist and getting a significant raise in income. She can give insight on how money may or may not buy happiness.
Hi, my name is Yvette Mabry. I'm currently a fourth-year student at Loma Linda University School of Pharmacy.
As a student, how would you describe your financial status?
Even though I am in school, I would say I'm actually fairly comfortable as far as like finances and stuff, especially because I currently do work as a intern pharmacist at the hospital, but I also get loans, so basically it's like an investment. So I'm allowed to get those loans because I know I'll pay them off, once I'm done with school, because I will be making like a pretty decent amount of money.
Have you always experienced this financial stability?
I definitely don't think at this level, but I wouldn't say that I ever really had a financial hardship because I always chose to work hard. So because of that, I always had, money, not just for our regular necessities, but just, to kind of, to play with, to do what we wanted, to have that extra cushion and just have fun with it.
With that extra money, would you say that it can buy happiness?
For us, I think to an extent it did, just because I was able to do certain things that, just kind of old memories. I didn't ever live beyond my means or bought ridiculous things. Well, maybe once in a while, but I definitely didn't make it a habit. We lived, within our means, and, we'd go out, we'd make memories and stuff we remember. So it was definitely things that brought happiness to the family.
Would you say that when you reach a certain amount of money, you become unappreciative of the things in your life?
I don't know if there's an actual cap to say like a number, because I do think that's so subjective. It just depends on the individual. But I definitely think that once you start being greedy with your money, or just almost like fiending for more money, you're just on another level. You want more. It's never enough. So you have to work hard for it. You will appreciate it.
So aside from materialistic things that you can buy with money, what are some ways that you believe we could spend our money on to increase our happiness?
I know for me, this is so true, I think for a lot of people, is that a lot of the time when we do have that extra money, we tend to be happiest when we're doing something with that money is when we're doing something for others. So whether it's donating or buying a gift for like family members, I know definitely if we learn and want to serve others, I think you kind of get a different type of gratification and happiness, when you do that, as opposed to always being selfish. It's just, there's never going to be enough. You're always going to want more, and that's just going to lead to unhappiness and problem and debt. So.
After interviewing Yvette, she explained how to a certain extent money can buy happiness. Money can provide stability, which can relieve a lot of stress and give a person the opportunity to do things like go out and make memories. She also added that a big factor of whether or not money makes you happy depends on what you spend it on. If you use the money solely as a means to splurge on yourself, you will never be satisfied. She also added that by using your money to do things for others, it can provide a feeling of content that you can't get when you only buy things for yourself.
After interviewing everyone, it allowed us to see to what extent money can buy happiness. Speaking to people who struggle with financial hardships and people who are financially stable, it demonstrated how in certain aspects money is necessary and money can influence happiness, but ultimately money can only provide temporary happiness. It's what you do with your money that matters.